It's time for coffee. So, you know what's funny? It's actually decaf. I have to drink decaf because the caffeine really screws me up. It makes me sleep when I should be awake and awake when I should sleep. Maybe the problem is I need more coffee or more caffeine. Hey, I'm Dustin Heiner with Master Passive Income, and I wanted to share with you why I'm not getting this assistance from the government, the $10,000. Now, the big thing is you got to watch out what you're signing. Now, they're saying it's forgivable, but it might not be. And so we'll cover that in this video. And things like it's a small business administration that's opening up all your documents, all your information to share with other people. It could be pretty dangerous. And it's not necessarily a forgivable loan. They say it is, but we'll get to that in a minute. So the government right now with the COVID-19 and the epidemic that's going on, they're wanting to make sure that the economy doesn't collapse, that people still have money to pay for things. Well, what they're doing is they passed a bill, the CARES Act, and it's $2.3 trillion. We're going to figure out how we're going to pay that in the future. I'm not too happy with that. Our grandkids and their kids after that are going to have to pay for it. But outside of that, people need help. Right now, people can't even pay for food for their family. They can't even pay rent. And for the $10,000 disaster loan assistance program that the government's doing right now because of Corona, the Rona's running around and people are not working. People can't pay for food for their family. They can't pay their rent. They can't pay their mortgage. They can't pay their bills because the entire world is shut down. And so people's lives are getting destroyed. Not just, it's horrible that people's lives are damaged by the virus itself, but then shutting down everything, all the businesses shut down. People cannot go to work and pay for their family. So I'm looking at this $10,000 that I could potentially apply for. I could absolutely apply. I could potentially get it. I have 3 or 4 businesses that I could apply for and get $10,000 for each. Now, what's interesting is I absolutely have loss of rents. I absolutely have contractors and employees and people that work for me in Master Passive Income, my real estate, everything that I do. I am losing money right now. But the big thing is I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have rental properties. Well, number one, I invest in real estate rental properties, so I literally do not have to work at all. I buy properties, they rent, tenants get in there, they rent it out, and I make money because the expenses minus the income, the difference there is profit that goes in my pocket. And I have other people do the work. I invest all over the country. Now, that's where I make my money. I stay at home, I make money. I don't work, I make money. I only work 30 minutes a month reviewing the statements. From there, I'm also very frugal. So the reason why I'm doing this video different than normal is I'm actually going to show you. So let me get one more little drink of coffee. Decaf coffee at that. And so here is my bedroom. You can see this with the light and everything. This is my bedroom. And this is literally where I close, this is the bathroom. You don't need to see that. But this is where I do all the podcasting. This is where I do all the videos. This is where I do my webinars or the coaching calls. I'm literally in my bedroom. So if you can see, there's the bedroom. My wife does a fantastic job making sure this place is awesome. Takes care of it very, very well. But I'm very frugal. And because I'm very frugal, I look at how little money coming out of my pocket. I have money coming in from my rental properties. Plus, we've saved a ton of money just because we're very frugal and savers. And so my wife got me to be a saver. I wasn't originally. So from there, I'm looking at, okay, number one, I have plenty of money coming in. Number two, I'm frugal. I cut my expenses, so I have very little money. In fact, this is a house that I bought as a rental property. See, I was living in California, and I bought a house in Arizona as a rental property, and the tenants were moving out, and I wanted to move out of California because I was like, man, it is so expensive in California. So we literally moved into our rental property. Now, this rental property is 1,250 square feet. And if you could see, well, let me get back here. You could see my 4 kids. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if the camera's pointing at it. My 4 kids. So we have 4 kids. There they are. I'll show you. There you go. So there are my 4 beautiful kids. They're older now, much, much older. And so let me get back. Oh, there we go. This is a much better picture of them. So here they are. Now we have 4 kids, but we're in a 1,250 square foot house. The beautiful thing is it's paid off. I don't owe a bank any money. I don't have a mortgage payment. It's fantastic to have a house paid off. And so but it's 1,250 square feet. So all 6 of us inside of this small house, I'll be honest with you, if I never had to work another job again and live in here, that's a trade-off. Never work a job again, but live in a 1,250 square foot house for the rest of my life,
Done. Done deal. I am not ever going to work another job. I love not working a job. I hope you actually get to get that feeling. And rental properties got me for that, or it got me to there to where I could have this. So those are two big things. I'm frugal and I have money coming in. Another big one is I was reminded of the movie Cinderella Man. Now, Cinderella Man, Russell Crowe, I think, was the main actor. It was all about a boxer who was boxing back in like the 1920s, through the Roaring '20s, and then through the Great Depression. Now, at this time, he's a boxer in the Roaring '20s. He's doing really, really well. He's fighting well. He's making money. He's saving. They're living well. They have nice houses, but they're also saving. He put like a majority of his money in the stock market. Well, we remember what happened in the stock market. It crashed and all of his money was gone. And so he literally was back to zero. And then he hurt his hand and he couldn't fight. He lost all of his money. And eventually, he could not afford to pay for food for his family. And so what he had to do was he went and got welfare. He literally went to the government and said, you know what, I cannot afford my rent. I can't afford the electricity bill. I can't even heat the house. And I can't even pay the food for my kids. Imagine how much of a failure you feel like as a husband, as a dad. I know I would feel, when I got laid off of my job, it was back in 2008, 9, I felt like a failure because I could not provide for my family. Assistance then would have been fantastic, but right now I don't need it. What was really interesting about the boxer was he had to actually pay for food by giving government assistance, which I'm not knocking that at all. I love that we as a country can help people. It's absolutely fantastic. So he went back a number of times because he couldn't pay for food. He couldn't pay for electricity or gas to heat the place. He got kicked out of his house. So many bad things. And so he finally swallowed his pride and went and got assistance. He went a number of times and got assistance a number of times from the government. And then he got better. He started boxing again. The economy started coming back. He started making money. And once it was all back to normal, he was able to make money. He literally brought money back to the government, to the welfare office, and said, I borrowed this. I know you were giving it to me. I don't have to pay it back. But as a man, I want to do that. I'm going to pay this back. So he literally gives back all the money, every penny, back to the welfare office or whatever, the government agency. So that, I don't know why, but that's stuck in my brain. It's like, man, he didn't need it. He knew other people needed it. So he gave it back, which was fantastic. And I was thinking, if I apply for this loan, I could potentially get $30,000 or $40,000 because of all the businesses that I have. And I was thinking, but there are other businesses that absolutely need it. So I'm not going to take it. Now, if you need it, this is probably a good option for you, something very, very smart for you to do. So those are reasons why I'm not going to take it. But let me give you some more reasons. But here's what, if you look at, I'm going to go to my screen right here. So here's my screen. I'm literally looking at it right now. So if I scroll up, and I'll actually just, I'll just do a screen share, so it'll be much, much easier. So from here, I am looking at this entire application. I just went through the application really quickly and simply, and all I did was made up some stuff, like just to get to the screen, because I literally went through the entire screen and got to this point where I was reading all of this. Now, if you go from the very, very beginning in the Small Business Administration loan, it's a loan. If you look at everywhere, I just clicked the word search, I clicked search, and I Control F, and I searched for the word loan. 13 times it's written in here that it's a loan, it's a loan, it's a loan, it's a loan, it's a loan. But then I said, well, it's forgivable, right? Let me type in search for forgiveness or forgive. Let's just put forgive. Okay, 0 times for forgive. Well, maybe it might be another word. Let's say, well, I can't even think of forgivable loan. That's what they say. But if you type in forgiveness or just forgive, just like that, it's not in here. You are not getting a forgivable loan. If it's not in the contract, it's not enforceable. You can't say, hey, you told me it's forgivable. It's like, yeah, it's not in the contract. So here's another thought. As you're reading through this is where I literally got to this point. I was going to hit the next button and actually apply. So those thoughts are all coming through my head. And this was a nail in the coffin for me. So if you read all of this information here, it says we authorize, your company, you and your company, my insurance company, bank, financial institution, or other creditor to release to the SBA, Small Business Administration, all. Wow, that's a strong word. All records and information necessary to process this application and for
the SBA to obtain credit information about the individuals completing this application. Wow, you're releasing everything. Now, if you're thinking about what is going on with the IRS, not going on. Normally with the IRS, when you file taxes, you don't, like all those taxes information, all your paperwork and all that stuff, it's sealed. They can't get to it. It's not open to the Freedom of Information Act. And so what you're looking at here is that you're literally opening up everything. They can talk to whoever, whatever, insurance, bank, what were the other ones? Financial institutions that you've given them, literally given them the ability to look at whatever they want. Here, let's keep going on. If my loan is approved, additional information may be required prior to closing a loan. If it's approved, I will be advised in writing information required to obtain my loan funds to verify past, present, and full. So I hereby authorize the Small Business Administration to verify my past and present employment information, salary history, as needed to process a disaster loan. Not bad, but what else could it be? We authorize the SBA, as required by the Privacy Act, to release any information collected in connection with this application to federal, state, and local or tribal or nonprofit organizations for the purpose of assisting me in my SBA evaluate. So they're saying, I'm going to give it to whoever. All your information, I can give it to whoever I want. Here's another one. So certification of truthful information. This isn't bad. We're trying to be truthful, absolutely. But warning, in bold and uppercase, or it's not bold, it's uppercase. Whoever wrongfully misapplies the proceeds of an SBA disaster loan shall be civilly liable to the administrator in an amount equal to 1 1/2 times the original principal amount of the loan under this jurisdiction. In addition, any false statements or misrepresentations to SBA may result in criminal, civil, administrative sanctions, including but not limited to fines, imprisonment, or both under blah, 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 any other applicable laws, damages, civil penalties, false claims. Oh my goodness, double damages and civil penalties under blah, blah, blah. Read this. So, number one, if you misplace a decimal point and they say, or you add a 1, or if you do anything wrong and they say, hey, we think you did this on purpose. You're like, but I didn't. It was just it's an actual mistake. Well, it's your word against ours. We're going to go after you. This is the government. The government is going to basically do whatever it wants. It has unlimited power to do whatever it wants. And so when I'm looking at this, I'm like, what am I giving up? My freedoms now? If I needed the $10,000, yeah, absolutely. It's probably worthwhile, but right now I don't. And I'm looking at all these different problems, all these different things that just equal out to me saying, I'm not going to take it. Honestly, for me, even if I needed it, I would not sign this. This could potentially be very, very bad. That's just for me. So again, you guys, I hope that you guys are doing well. And I hope that if you do need this, that you get it, that everything works out fantastic. I guess I'm just a little more pessimistic when it comes to this sort of stuff. And I read the contract or read what's inside of here. Nowhere does it say it's forgivable. You may eventually have to pay it back. So just keep all these things in mind when you're thinking about applying for this $10,000. Before we shut off, I want to show you all my chickens running around. So we're so frugal that we even have chickens, but it's not. Just don't kid yourself. Actually, I kidded myself to think that having chickens was making me frugal. They cost a lot of money. They give us eggs, but eggs are fairly inexpensive. But okay. So that's all my ramblings of why I am not getting this $10,000 disaster relief. So hopefully you guys, I'm going to go grab my coffee, my decaf coffee. Hopefully you guys are doing well with all this pandemic. I'm praying for you guys. And if you need it, you need it. And we got to take care of it. We got to do everything we can to provide for our families. It's just sad that families cannot feed their families. They cannot even pay their rent. They can't pay their bills. They can't do all that stuff because literally the economy's all shut down. So you guys take care of yourselves. Dustin Heiner here with Master Pacific with my decaf coffee. So if you had any, hopefully you got something out of it. I'm just kind of showing you that I am not going to do the $10,000 relief. If you guys got anything out of it, I'm not a big YouTube star at all. I don't even know how to do this YouTube stuff. If you liked it, subscribe. If you didn't, don't subscribe. So you guys take care of yourselves. Hope you guys are well. I really want you guys to start investing in real estate. That's how I'm blessed. I literally don't leave the house and I still make money. Okay, you guys, take care of yourselves. See you soon.